Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. Good morning, Broncos country. Welcome to game day, Broncos versus Eagles. And I just got to tell you up front, the Eagles are going to lose eventually this season. Why not it be against us? Now, my name, of course, is 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐤. We got Adam, but we got the man, the myth, the legend, the guy saving the world for us, Jared. How's it going out there, buddy?
It's going. There's a lot going on out here, but we're keeping strong and we're pushing forward so we can get everybody home safely. So that's the important part here. And man, I'm excited to actually join you. Like, the game's early enough so I could like stay up late and watch the game. So I'm super stoked to watch it with everybody and talk Broncos again for the first time in a while.
Man, we're ready to have you back full time for sure, man. Glad you're here. And just, I gotta say, when you're out deployed, I feel safer. I'm like, Jared's protecting me today. The world's a little less scary.
Everybody should, right?
Adam, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm taking a bye week from the Lord. He understands for early games like this. At least I think he should. Anyway, but I'm doing good. I am fully ready. I have had good vibes about this game all week. And even though the Eagles are supposed to be all big and scary, especially in Philadelphia, I haven't felt very worried all week. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little crazy. Maybe I'm looking through the orange colored glasses a little bit, but I'm feeling good about today.
No, I like it, man. I like it. There's definitely reasons to sit here and say the Eagles are beatable. You know, you recognize the 4-0 record. Right, but you look at some of the stats. The offensive stats aren't that pretty. Defensively, okay, there may be something to worry about there, but it just comes down to our offense needing to perform, right? So, Jared, let's do this. From what you've seen from the Broncos this year, what you've heard about them, read about them, what's your kind of general take and or feel on this Broncos team right now?
So it's funny you mentioned that because right before I jumped on here, we were talking a little bit about it. I was like, I've only seen one game, but it seems like our team's kind of like going. Obviously, the defense is doing their thing and they're doing exactly what they need to all the way up to a point. Then all of a sudden, the Broncos are like, we're ahead. We'll just do whatever they want. And then they go ahead and score. And then our two losses are really just like, for some reason, while we were up, they decided not to finish the game. And I don't know what's going on. I know our defense is big bend, don't break. And that's kind of what I saw in the Chargers game, the one game I did see. Right. Very big on bend, don't break. The problem is that we gave them the opportunity to kick a field goal to win it, and it was just bad. And then obviously I did see the highlights of the first loss, and that was just terrible all around. Like the penalty, it is what it is. But for some reason, we're giving them the opportunity to go down and kick a field goal to win the game. Like, why not keep our 10-point lead? Like, it doesn't seem like we're playing really hesitant there in the fourth quarter. We got to finish it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
𝐁𝐫𝐸 actually had a tweet today, and I think it may be a little bit of an interesting storyline that in the last 10 games that the Broncos have come down to, where it's been one score, the Broncos are only like 3-7 or 2-8 or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can start making conclusions based on history, do the Broncos have a problem closing out games? Yeah, and I think history is telling us, that they do. So,
and that's just since Sean Payton came on board, right?
10 games that would all be under the Payton era. I mean, I'm assuming. So, what would be the cause for that? Just spitballing and throwing some ideas at the wall.
One of the things I've
my first thought here.
Go for it, Jared.
My first thought here is that, like, clearly he doesn't want to be aggressive to like create any unneeded turnovers. But like, even in the Chargers game, we went 3 and out. We got the ball up 10. They go down, score a touchdown. We go 3 and out again. and then they drive all the way down to kick the field goal, or I think we're up by 8 or something like that. We're up by 2 scores. And then they go down and kick the field goal to win the game. And it just seems like we're not being aggressive at all. Like we're trying to just kind of like run out the clock because we have a score, we feel comfortable with the 12-point lead. And at some point we have to learn like, okay, 10-point lead or 8-point lead is not enough. Our defense is bend don't break. And that's the biggest thing. Like our defense is great. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome. But it's bend don't break for a reason. And then they're going to find the holes in that last drive. And they have, like you said, I think we've only won 3 of them in the one score game. So like we definitely need to be a little bit more aggressive in the fourth quarter to like make plays and keep the ball in our hands. So it doesn't all fall on the defense. I just feel like that's unfair.
Yeah. I think it almost seems like the play calling in those crucial end of game moments, because I called it against the Chargers game when we got the ball back with about 2.5 minutes left or whatever it was. I was like, watch, we're going to go 3 and out, punt them the ball and give them plenty of time to walk down the field and get the field goal. And I'm really sad that I called that basically as is, right? But it's some of the play calling, it's almost like they're so afraid of making a mistake that they are making a mistake by being so conservative. It's like, I know you don't want to turn over the ball, but at the end of the day, you're still turning over the ball via punt. And, you're facing these teams, especially in the Eagles today. The Eagles know how to close out close games, right? So this is the time for the Broncos have got to figure this out, because I'll be honest, guys, I don't expect this to really start heating up until the fourth quarter. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth. We might get down by 10 points or something at one point, but I think it's going to be a close game all the way up, and then the fourth quarter hits. And man, these guys had better be ready to follow through today.
Yeah,
honestly, I hope it doesn't happen that way because the Eagles are a fourth quarter team and we're not, and I really hope we can go up enough to like not have to put ourselves in that position or be up by enough scores before that happens to be able to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that it's the Eagles. Like we're going up against a 4-0 team that's supposed to be a juggernaut, Super Bowl favorites again. We need to be a little bit more aggressive, and I'm hoping I think Sean Payton knows that, and I think you've seen it in the past couple of years when we play these bigger teams. Like when we played Kansas City for the first time last year, if you guys remember, he was super aggressive. He was going for it on fourth down. Like I think he went for it on fourth down like 4 or 5 times. I think we're going to see something very similar in this game.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, I think there is an element of coaching to it. We have a very aggressive defense that blitzes and slants, and then to see them in the fourth quarter, and that's the time that BJ chooses to lay back and play coverage in the back end and play for field goals. I don't know. That seems to be the moments where, and that's also the time that the defense gets the most criticism. And where you're saying, Jared, no, that if they're holding teams to under 20, no, those are even now today in today's game, you hold a team to 24 and under, those are games you should be winning. So yeah, I think there is an element of coaching to it, and maybe letting the moment get a little too big. I don't know.
Right. There's conversation like, we know that Sean Payton likes to play 3D or 4D chess, right? But is he out coaching himself more? It's not so much did he get out coached by the other coach? Is he getting out coached by himself? Right? Is he overcomplicating things? And I don't know. Right. I think this is a part of it is still, this is a young team. It's only their sophomore year for Bo Nix and, this whole rebuild and everything. So there's still some room to grow for sure. But from what we've seen is, the 2 wins we've had, dominant wins. Okay. Again, not against great teams, but the 2 losses, very close. We hung with them. The defense, it was like, in the Colts, the offense showed up. Defense, not so much. Week 3 was a complete opposite swap. I'm like, okay, can the offense and the defense show up at the same time in the same game? Because if so, we're going to win 10, 11, 12 games.
Right.
And I do want to mention, too, I don't want to let Bo Nix off the hook here. And part of it not off the hook is like, I love Bo Nix, and I think, obviously, we all think he's like the future of this franchise for a long shot. But I don't want to let him off the hook in the fact of like there might be a little bit of a disconnect still between Sean Payton and Bo Nix in that fourth quarter. Because if I'm a head coach or I'm an offensive coordinator and I go out there and I say, hey, Bo, I'm going to call this play, but be careful. Don't throw an intercept. You got to be careful with the ball. Make sure that we're not turning it over. We don't want to give him the opportunity to win this game. And in his head, he's like, I got to be careful. So he's doing the dunk and dips, and he's not making the passes he normally would. So is this a level of let Bo cook, or are we we need to make sure that he's being careful because he does have a couple interceptions in the league. So as much as I want to make it all like a Sean Payton thing, I think there's a level of like Sean Payton's making the play calls and he's like, hey, Bo, we got to be careful with the ball, right? Remember, fourth quarter, we're up by a couple scores. Let's just not ruin this for the defense. And then we go 3 and out, and then we don't have the time. So he's throwing a pass, it's incomplete, and now the clock stops in the whole 9 yards. So, like, I think there's a balance there. I don't want to let him completely off the hook on that. I think there's a level of maturity that comes with being a second-year guy. And I think that's what we're going to probably start seeing. And like as we saw last year, Bo growing throughout the season. I think these are some of those growing pains.
Yeah, totally agreed. A couple comments here I'm going to get to. First off, Jared, your Navy beat my Air Force yesterday. So congrats to Navy. I'll admit it. By a field goal.
It was a good game.
Using these games.
It was a real good
goal.
Yeah, who would have thought that the two? Who would have thought that the two like Air Force and Navy, and Navy's undefeated for the record. But who would have thought that game was going to score more than like 20 total points? Like in the past, like it's like 21-20, and like all of a sudden they both scoring like crazy. It was kind of cool. It was fun to watch.
Well, that's Air Force's story this year is they have no problem putting up points in every single one of these games, but their defense just keeps allowing more.
It's weird because when you think of shootouts, you think of like putting the ball in the air, and these were like two teams like just taking chunks out of each other on the ground.
Oh yeah,
like 6 and 7, 8 yards. Like when you think of like a fist fight. Like we always throw that analogy out there. Oh my goodness! Like it's a different type of shootout, but no, it was a fun game to watch yesterday.
I love it. I love it. I like this comment from Jerry. We need to don't stop believing. Okay, take no prisoners. Don't underestimate. Don't stop. No breaks. Keep on. I love it. Keep on believing, guys. I'm right there with you. Look, I know a lot of people. Are I don't want to say down on Bo. I think they're so used to being hurt by quarterbacks and by prospective quarterback, right? We've been through the ringer so many times that I think people are just waiting for and almost anticipating a Bo meltdown, a Bo failure, a Bo experiment failure, right? So I don't think people are jumping ship. But I think they're looking at this saying, I'm not ready to commit to this guy yet for a number of reasons to include we've been hurt too much before, right? But Jared, you made that good point. We saw this from him last year. He started off slow, but then when he started getting going and started improving every week, by the end of the season, holy crap, like we were looking at somebody completely different. So I think this year there's more responsibility. It's a larger, more in-depth, complicated playbook. I think you're going to see a very similar path, right? I'm hoping last week was the catalyst to light this thing, on fire and get it going.
Yeah, and what I like about Bo, and I think I really want to mention too, is that he's teachable, right? So last year around this time, he had quick feet and he had happy feet, right? I just remember the New Orleans game. He like could not set his feet to throw a ball. I think it was like week 3 or 4 last year. And now, like he everything he learned from last year, he's keeping going, right? He's doing all the right things still. Now it's just the little stuff, right? And you can kind of focus and key in on the little stuff. And yeah, we're not going to get the big second year from him that everybody wants, like Super Bowl winning second year. But that's okay as he continues to grow. We're going to see that growth over time. And then, just we got to be patient with quarterbacks. And I think that's another thing that the Broncos country is terrible with. It's just being patient in general, but patient with quarterbacks and watching the fact that he's not making the same mistakes over and over again means that he is growing and he's learning more. And as he's not making those mistakes, he makes a couple others, and then we just correct those. And eventually, he's going to have the full game plan in his back pocket. Yeah. And the Broncos are going to be talking about Bo Nix, in the same aspect. And I'll say it, but in the same aspect of like Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, like those kind of guys that are like just the guys that are consistently winning because they just have it together.
Yeah. A couple quick things, and Adam, not to cut you off there, but looks like we got, and I'm going to say your name wrong. I apologize. 𝐁𝐫𝐴𝐳𝐷. So from an Italian myself here, I should be pronouncing this right, but watching us over in Italy, that's fantastic. Yes, so we are international here. Glad to see you here, man. A ton of other people. Kaylin, you're here. Montserrat is here as well. I love that name, and stump those birds. Go Broncos. I love it. Good comment here from Michael. If I need to find it, here we go. The one thing we really have to avoid is letting Saquon Barkley take over the game. Now, good thing for the Broncos is we've pretty much done a good job stopping the run for the most part, right?
Yeah.
At least in the first half. It's in the first half. You look back through the stats. The second half is where Jared, I've missed that so much. I try to replicate it just because I miss it so much, but I just can't ever do it.
It's a timing thing. It's a timing thing.
Well, it's the second half that we're seeing, and you look back to even like the Ravens game last year where we got blown out of the water, right? The first half we held Derrick Henry to almost nothing, at least compared to him. It's the second half that teams find their rhythm in the run game against us. So if we can find a way to like stop him all game long, at least keep him in check, like that'd be a huge advantage for the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, Michael makes a good point here. We're 0-1 against a solid running back, and he ran all over us. Like Jonathan Taylor ran all over us in that game, in that Indy game, and we just kind of let him. Like, again, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights, and of course, all I'm seeing is Jonathan Taylor taking off for 60 yards. So, like, it's hard. It's hard to watch that and be like, man, we're supposed to be this like solid defense, especially our front nine or front seven. It's supposed to be this like solid like go-to team. And we just let that guy run for, I think he ran for like 100, and correct me on the stats here, but it was like over 130 yards, if I'm not mistaken. And it's bad. And when you have a solid running back and that's your whole game plan is like run first, pass second, we're not doing super hot. But again, I think that comment's perfect. I think if we can stop him from taking over the game, we win this game.
Yeah. Before I go to the next comment, and Adam, hand it over to you guys, don't forget, in less than 15 minutes, we got our score prediction challenge that will officially open. We are dying to give away a free Broncos jersey, so hang on tight with your score predictions. That will open up at the bottom of the hour for us to officially start taking those, and we'll explain all the rules on how to enter and have a chance to win a Broncos jersey. And today, lots of people are talking about a potential upset, so this could be a day that we might be giving away a jersey. I want to see it happen. See, lots more comments, guys. Kalen, yeah, it's been an amazing morning already. I'm feeling it too. Like I'm moving into the more optimistic range, and maybe that's just game day. I don't know, but I'm not
okay.
I'm not like yeah, like we're definitely gonna win, but it's like we're looking good here. And I do want to bring up the inactives list here. Both teams very healthy. And Adam, get your take on this. For the Broncos, again, Jaleel McLaughlin inactive. We've seen that. Frank Crum, Savion Jones, Q Robinson, names we've seen before, right? Eagles, they got Xavier Gipson, center Drew Kendall, and cornerback Mike McWilliams. So both teams very healthy today, man. What are you thinking there, Adam?
I mean, injuries don't seem like they're going to play a huge factor, at least at the onset. I do want to throw a shout out to our Lord and Savior, Adam Lucas Kroll, who was put on short-term IR. It was a rough week for the Lucas Kroll fan club as president, CEO, main software engineer of the organization. But yeah, at least at the onset, doesn't seem. Did we ever hear if Malcolm Roach got activated for this game, or was he?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they were talking about it, but it didn't come to fruition. I don't think.
I mean, this is one of those games where, to go along with the comment of not letting Saquon Barkley run wild, this is kind of like that matchup of that inside linebacker tandem of Justin Sternad and Alex Singleton. Are they going to hold up today versus arguably the best running back in football? So it's going to be a battle of the interiors to basically make sure that we're keeping him in check. Because again, if you're making Jalen Hurts throw the football, I think that really plays into our strengths. So I mean, when we get to maybe predictions and maybe kind of how this game needs to play out, I think getting out to a good start is actually going to be a big key for the Broncos.
I like it. I did check the status here for Malcolm Roach and linebacker Drew Sanders as well. So both, did come off of IR, but they did not practice this week. So we're expecting that hopefully next week they'll start practicing. Maybe Sanders, it sounds like, is still maybe another week or two away. but at least for Roach, and that would be a huge bolster to these guys.
I mean, Malcolm Roach is one of your big rotational guys, and not that 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐤 or Jackson have played bad, but I mean, Malcolm Roach is just he's an excellent rotational defensive lineman. It's a specialized position, but he's really good at his specialized position. So getting a guy like him back only helps your defense.
Yeah. Let's see. I like this here from Jerry. I like to see the Broncos wipe the Eagles out. My daughter is a Chargers fan and her husband is an Eagles fan. Again, Jerry, nobody's perfect. I'm sure they're great people, but nobody's perfect. And today we cannot be friends with Eagles fans. So, Kaylin, I love the compliment here from you. Definitely appreciate it. Get the pizza before the game because I think you're gonna need it. It's gonna be good, and I just think it's gonna be a great day today. That's what I'm feeling. Chris says beating the running game will be forced on the linebacker, so Alex and Justin have to play their best game. Now, Jared, not sure what you've been seeing from this or what you've heard. Alex Singleton has not been looking good this year. Lots of missed tackles. Yeah. He's slow to change directions. It seems like he doesn't trust his knee right now. Whatever the case is, he's just not tackling very well. So from the inside linebacker position that I know you care about so deeply, what are you feeling there, man?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking for us to draft a top inside linebacker for, 10 years now, as long as we've been doing the show. And so we haven't gotten one. And, the offseason acquisition, I know is going to make a lot of people mad because that's what, Broncos Twitter's all over this Dre Greenlaw situation. Yeah, and I get it. I understand. Right. It's frustrating, but we went out to get him to make kind of like enforce that middle linebacker position. And obviously he just hasn't been able to help me. This would be the game we need him back for. And it didn't come to fruition, which kind of sucks. However, I have heard that Alex Singleton just hasn't been looking like himself, and I don't know what's going on there. And it just sucks. Like, you want that strong person in the middle, especially since I think he's one of the captains. If he's not, is it Stranod's the captain or Singleton?
I believe it's Singleton.
Yeah, so like it's tough when you have that kind of play from or even if he's not the captain, he's been with the team for a little while now, and he has that he's been there for a while. So like it's tough to see that from an inside linebacker not being able to make those plays with whatever the missed tackles or being slow to the ball. I haven't seen it again physically, but if he is struggling, that kind of sucks, and it's rough when Stranod's out there, playing his heart out, and Greenlaw just can't get healthy.
Yeah, you got to remember, Singleton's on a contract year too. So I know it's only week 5 of the season, but from what I've seen through the first 4 games, if for some reason the season ended today, I would tell you we're not bringing back Alex Singleton. We're not even unless they said, hey, you can come back for a dirt cheap contract, but we got to figure something else out. This ain't working. And so I wouldn't be surprised and this is a conversation for way down the road. The Broncos are looking at drafting top-notch inside linebacker for that reason, just because this isn't working, and we don't want to, again, rely on free agents to come in here and fix these problems, right? We got to build through the draft, and we're showing we can do that in other positions, but now we just got to apply that to the inside linebacker position.
We just
one of these days I'll get my wish.
One day. Was that Adam?
It's just so weird that it's been one of the problem areas on the defense since Danny Trevathan and Brendan Marshall.
Yeah.
And then before them, who was it? Al Wilson, DJ Williams. I mean, it's been a minute since we've had a notable inside linebacker on the defense. So
yeah, agreed. Jerry asks, how is Mims? Is he active? Mims is fine. He is active. So in general, this team's looking really healthy. One concern I have, and we kind of keep talking about this, Evan Ingram. I know he's banged up, right? He had that stiff back for a week there, missed the game. I know he's had that calf injury. And again, it's early in the season, but at what point do we start saying, I get you're banged up, but you're still producing basically nothing, right? At what point do we stop giving the excuses? It's one of those things where everyone's going to be banged up here at some point in the season, but they're still playing, right? They're still making plays and making things happen. Yeah. So I'm just, it's really, it's sad because I was so hyped about what Evan Ingram could have brought to the team.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen that come into fruition in any way. You know, when we do get him the ball, where's this middle of the field playmaking ability to break tackles and turn a short gain into a long gain? We haven't seen anything like that.
I mean, I think we're already at that point, aren't we? I wrote about this. I put this up on the website. That is my shameless plug to go to the website. But if you watched the game last week and you kind of see what his body work has been, Evan Ingram is a very big, very athletic wideout that just happens to play wideout, or it happens to play tight end. The Broncos have a lot of similar kind of athletic guys that already fill that role, and you can't really play action to him because you need to be believable as a blocker, and Ingram's not believable as a blocker. So he's kind of limited in the amount that he can do. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't intended to be a bad fit, but maybe it's kind of developing into a bad. I don't know. Yeah. But right now I'm going to lean towards it's already not working out.
Yeah. I got a couple pieces on this. And the first one is, for the record, I definitely thought that this trade wasn't the best for the Broncos, or this signing wasn't the best for the Broncos, because I do believe that it doesn't fit our scheme, right? We got two tight ends, right? We run a lot of two tight end sets in the run game, and we kind of let him out. And when we got him, it kind of told the world that we're not running that two tight end set type much anymore. We want to spread it out and let Bo Nix be Bo Nix, which means we're going to go back to him throwing 40 times a game, which again, also not a fan. But I want to say this in the same, and Kevin, I know you've been waiting for this, and Dave's been waiting for this. I want to say this in the same realm that we said with Javonte Williams. Now, I'm not putting it in the same realm of Javonte Williams. However, but I don't want to say this guy's not doing what he's doing because the stats are saying whatever. I want to say is, like, if we look at the film, is it him, or is it the play calling? Is it not scheming for him to get open like Jacksonville used to do, or is it just like, and again, I haven't watched, again, I'm saying this with the fact that I've only watched one game and he wasn't in that game. Is he getting the ball and then, like, just not breaking tackles? Is he not getting the ball much? Is he not beating the linebacker when he really should be because he's really a wide receiver, not a tight end? Like, I'd have to look at the film to see that, so I don't want to write him off. And maybe we need to scheme a little bit more tight end looks, especially if we're playing against two corners that are, top of their game. Maybe we scheme some more tight end looks and get him more as a slot. But I don't want to write him off like we did Javonte Williams.
Who? I don't know who this guy is that you're talking about.
Javon. I don't have him on my bench in fantasy. I don't know who that. I don't know who that is.
I will. I mean, it looks like he's doing well in Dallas, which is good for him. I just hope that he comes back to Denver here in a few weeks, guys, and
he does. And I'll be wearing my Javonte jersey too. I'll be wearing my Javonte jersey.
I would expect nothing less, Jared. Nothing less. Go back here. Ken says, sorry, fellas, just not feeling this game, especially the special teams. I think the Eagles win pretty easily. Hope I'm wrong. But UFC last night showed upsets are happening. Yeah. So, okay. Look, it's one of those things where I know – you see one team 4-0, another 2-2. One team knows how to win close games. The other team this year has shown that they just can't. Even though, guys, I mean, we have led for a total of 0 minutes. We have trailed by a total of 0 minutes and 0 seconds in the fourth quarter this year, and yet we're 2-2. So it's. Yeah. I feel like we say this so many times, almost every year. It's like, we're so close to just a couple things being different, and our season could look totally different, right? We're sitting here right now saying, man, just if we hadn't missed that field goal, if we hadn't got that penalty, if this and that, we could be sitting 4-0 right now pretty damn easily, right? So trying to have the confidence of a 4-0 team with a 2-0 or 2-2 record is kind of where I'm coming at.
That's a good way to put that, Kev. I like that.
I have good thoughts every now and then. Oh, man. Let's see. Michael says for Evan Ingram, I wonder if he took the money and just really wants to play elsewhere. I don't know if that's the case. It seems like he really genuinely wanted to be here and is excited to be here. It's just, we have this tool. So what can Sean Payton dial up and what can they change and alter in their play calling to really get him those opportunities, right?
And as far as Evan Ingram goes, when he's the most effective, and I think you kind of saw that in the couple of games, is like when they throw those little screens or flares to him, and he's able to kind of do something after the catch. The only problem with that is that they have a couple of guys that already do that already. Marvin Mims is a more dynamic guy after the catch than Evan Ingram. You have guys in the backfield. RJ Harvey looked like he was a really competent receiver out of the backfield, a very good weapon out of the backfield. So I don't think it's even a lack of, like, it's a bad signing or not that. Is it scheme fit right now? Yes. And especially if they run the ball more, that also limits what Evan Ingram can do, because Evan Ingram's good at a lot of things, and I'm sure he's better at it than I am. But he's not the greatest inline blocker. Hello, Jared. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, as it stands right now, I think, and maybe it just is a scheme thing where maybe Sean Payton does need to just kind of pick his spots with him a little bit better. As it stands right now, Evan Ingram does kind of seem like the odd man out in the offense, just as it stands.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I think, Adam, you hit it on the head. He's not a blocker. We didn't get him to be a blocker. We got him to be a pass catcher, which is why everyone's frustrated, and rightfully so, that he's not putting up the numbers that we signed him for. And I don't think he doesn't want to play, injury, plague, whatever it is. But I think the biggest part of this is definitely the fact that we're not scheming for him. And to be honest, do we need to scheme for him, right? When we have Cortland Sutton, we have Marvin Mims, and we have this offense that's out there doing all these good things, like, do we need to scheme for him? And I think part of that is, like, situational. I think in the fourth quarter, a tight end can be huge. Look at everything that the freaking Kansas City Chiefs have done, right? In the fourth quarter, Travis Kelce is going to get the ball 100% of the time if they need to drive down and make a play. Like, why can't we scheme that out, especially in that fourth quarter when we need those guaranteed catches?
Yes.
I like
Great
it.
point.
Okay, guys, it is time to open the score prediction challenge. Bottom of the hour here. So, a couple things. The rules are scrolling across the bottom here, guys. But first off, you got to guess the Broncos to win. It won't count if you bet on the Eagles to win. You got to get the score prediction or your score guess correctly. And then only one entry per person as well. The first score prediction that you enter is the one we're going to hold you to. So if you enter 10, all you're doing is helping out our algorithm by commenting on our show a bunch. And I'm okay with that. That's fine.
I'm okay with that too.
You can't.
We're all okay with that.
You can't do that. I'm just saying, if you say, hey, I got the score prediction right, and it was like your 12th guess, it's not going to count. So your very first one is the one that will stick, and make sure what your score, remember what it is, get a screenshot, write it down, whatever. So you can help us out and message us and say, hey, I got it right. Here's my post, whatever. I can go back and verify that there weren't any before that or anything like that. But go ahead and start entering your score predictions now. Again, if you win, we will be giving you a free Broncos jersey of your choice on us. So it's been a while since we've been able to give away a prize for the score prediction challenge. And I'm feeling somebody's going to get lucky today. I think the Broncos are going to win. Yeah. And I think somebody's going to get lucky. I'm feeling it. Ugh.
I like it.
So start rolling those in, guys. Also, don't forget during the game and even after the game, whatever, head on over to broncosandbourbon.com. Check out all of our different articles, different things you can do. One-stop shop for all of our shows, podcasts, posts, all that stuff. You can upload photos of your own fan cave, man cave, Broncos get up, all that stuff in our fan photo section. There's a game day chat section, so everyone can continue the conversation from here over on the website for free. Great stuff, guys. And don't forget that if you sign up this year during the 2025 season, you will get free automatic upgrade to the next level membership tier when that's introduced later on. So head on over to broncosandbourbon.com right now or after the show and sign up and get in on that action. But some of the scores I'm seeing already, I like the close scores. Anthony 27-24, Michael 22-20. Feels like maybe a safety in there. I like that. Jerry 31-20, a little bit more of a spread, but I like that. Feeling good on the Broncos. Chris 24-21 Broncos as well. Ken 20-18. So guys, kind of what I'm expecting. Some really close scores here. David 24-17 Denver as well. So not giving away your score predictions yet, but what are some of the matchups that you guys are looking for today? What are the maybe concern areas? Where do you think the Broncos have advantages or anything like that? And Adam, start with you, man.
I think it's going to be a battle of the interiors. You have Philadelphia offense that can be described as inconsistent, and their best attack is running the ball. That also happens to be where Denver is also very strong. So I think whichever interior line is winning the day, I think is going to be that is going to be a big indicator on who wins this game. So if Zach Allen can eat today, if DJ Jones can maybe eat some of those blocks, and we get a John Franklin Myers sighting, then I think that that's going to be big for us.
I like it. Jared, what are you seeing, man?
Yeah, no, I was going to say kind of similar. I think our defense against Saquon Barkley, but also our defense against their quarterback. And I think they're just a running team, and we have to keep a spy on Jalen Hurts regardless of what's going on, unfortunately. So I think keeping a spy on Jalen Hurts is why Saquon Barkley is able to run as much as he does over other teams. So we got to be able to play both sides of it, and I think that's where do we ever Hulafunga? How do you pronounce it? Hulafunga?
Hulafunga.
All right, cool. Take the win. And so I think that's where he's going to come in. He's going to be playing in the box probably like almost the entire game if I'm a betting man. And we have to have him come up, either play against Saquon or play against the rollout with because I think our corners can play man against these wide receivers. A.J. Brown's just not been playing well this year. And I just think that we can be able to stop them with the corner man and being able to control the box. On the other hand, I'm going to say this because it's kind of like my prediction here. We need to score on at least 50%, more than 50% of our possessions, and not just field goals. We need at least 2 touchdowns in there. So we need to score on 50% of our possessions and 2 touchdowns, and we win this game. When we don't do that, it becomes a long, drawn-out fourth quarter battle that I'm worried that if we go into the fourth quarter with 5 to 10 minutes left. If we go down to 5 to 10 minutes left in the game and we're only up by 3 or we're up by 2, it's going to be an interesting just through history. It sucks and I don't want to watch that again. So let's go up by like a bunch. I don't know. Let's be up by like 20 into like with 5 minutes left in the fourth, and then we can start playing time. But it's going to be a hard fought battle, and eventually the Denver Broncos are going to need to find it within themselves to finish out these games.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like this comment, Smith versus Moss. Now, Moss, I think, has been getting an unfair amount of criticism.
Yes.
I asked this question on Tuesday. I think if Moss was starting on any other team when he's not on the other side of Pat Surtain, right, I think he'd be getting a ton of accolades, right? But as Riley Moss knows that you were going to get picked on all day long, every single game, right? And for the most part, he's doing a good job. Now, there's a lot of, I think, tugging at the jersey issues that I think need to be cleaned up. And hopefully that he was practicing with boxing gloves on this week or something so that he couldn't run out onto jerseys. But whatever the case is, for the most part, he's doing his job. It's not like every time they throw to him, they're getting major chunk yardage and he's getting penalties thrown against him every time. And, we're sitting here going, oh my God, he's a real problem. It's just, he's not Pat Surtain. And so people are saying, why is he not Pat Surtain? Well, he's Riley Moss. He's a different guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was going to say, so this matchup, I get where this could be a concern, but I'm putting my trust and faith in Riley Moss to be able to do his job today.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we have arguably, I mean, you have 2 number 1 corners or 1 defensive MVP, and then arguably a number 1 corner on a number of other teams. And then a guy that nobody has been talking about that I tried to show some love on Tuesday was 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐿, who, because you have not been hearing his name a whole lot, is because he is locking down whoever has been playing the slot. So if this gets to be where Philly does have to throw to kind of get themselves back in the game, I could easily see where Denver maybe puts this one to bed, maybe a little early. Hopefully I'll take it. I don't want to be in a nail biter every week. I mean, my heart can only do so much. I'm sure it's not good for this thing right here. So
if you put up a EKG on me for every game day, there'd probably be at least one moment in the game where I'd be clinically dead. It's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just a little stressed right now. A little stressed. I like this. So yeah, it looks like the Vikings are about to beat the Browns in England, and that's going to lead me to a reminder about next week, guys. The Broncos are playing overseas. Game time is like 7:15, 7:30 in the morning. And if you think that we're not going to do a pregame show just because it's extra early, you're wrong. I will be here. Okay. If I'm going live,
crazy guy. He's a crazy man.
Slightly crazy. It's okay, and I'll admit it. They say that's the first step to correcting your problem or whatever is admitting you have a problem. But that's as far as I'm willing to go in the steps.
Yeah.
Just admit there's a problem, and I'm leaving it at that.
There we go. Safe bet there. Yeah. Just on a side note, is it weird that the Vikings look like they have a competent offense when they don't have JJ McCarthy taken under center? I'm just saying. Carry on.
Yeah, but look at who they beat. And I mean, you can say the same thing about us. They beat a Bengals team without Joe Burrow, and then they beat the Browns. Like, who also just benched their quarterback for Dylan Gabriel. So, like, I mean, they're playing against these teams, and now the defenses haven't changed much. So maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe they're looking a little bit better on offense. But I don't know. I thought JJ McCarthy wasn't doing terrible when he was in there. I was excited to see him play, and then obviously the injury it just sucks when people get injured. Like, it doesn't make for good football,
Yeah.
No, it's not something you ever want to see. It's part of the game. For your own team, it's about next man up and going out there and doing your job, right? So, guys, keep the score predictions coming in if you want to enter our score prediction challenge and have a chance to win a free Broncos jersey of your choice. Rules are scrolling across the bottom there. We're going to be giving our own score predictions here in just a little bit, guys. But let's talk about some keys to the game before we start wrapping this up and everything. And maybe if you have any hot takes or big predictions you want to make as well, then now's the time to throw them in. So, Jared, let's start with you, man. What are some of the things you're looking for, keys to victory, all that stuff?
I'm going to go with a hot take here because we've been talking about it so much. I think 𝐓𝐴𝐴𝐺 goes for over 100 yards and a touchdown.
I would love it.
So spicy.
I think we've been talking all this, and everybody's giving him so much crap. I think this is the time that they game plan to get him the ball, and he goes for over 100 yards and a touchdown in this game. Obviously, I'm going to end up with my prediction at the end and saying that we win, but I think we switch up that game plan a little bit and try to get him the ball a little bit more. And obviously the outside guys are going to get theirs, but I think eventually Bo Nix is going to find his pattern with Evan, and they're going to figure it out and get that chemistry down. Anytime you bring in a new player, it's hard to get that chemistry down. And I think this is the game they do it.
I like it. I would love to see that. I think all of us would. So that's huge.
Yeah.
And look,
I also have him starting in my. Yeah, I was about to say I also have him starting in my fantasy team because Brock Bowers went out for the day. So I'm also just rooting for that part too. But I mean, hey, bold predictions, right?
Bold predictions. Adam, what are you thinking, buddy?
now I did see a stat that the Eagles have like scored the fewest amount of points of any 4-0 team since like I don't know 1776 or whenever they started playing football around here.
America.
America. But anyway, but that just shows that this is still kind of an inconsistent offense, even though them playing at home. Not exactly the greatest recipe going up against what we all consider to be a top flight defense. So I really feel like the first part of this game is going to be a little bit of a rock fight with just, there's going to be some punts. It's going to be field position. It's going to be field goals. But that fourth quarter is where it's going to get going. And that's been kind of where the rubber meets the road so far, especially with the Broncos. If they can play the better fourth quarter, I think they'll win the game. And I am going 23-20 Broncos.
23-20. I like it. Gian, let me know what you're send us a message. I want to hear kind of what you're seeing out there from, I know you commented earlier about something about how they're using the Italian image or something like that, kind of hurting your guys' image out there or something like that. I want to hear more about that because, look, as the NFL is expanding out into international waters here, it's interesting to hear what other fans from across the world are seeing and experiencing when it comes to the NFL coming to their doorstep. So send us a message, man, and kind of give us more information on what you're seeing. Love to kind of cover that. Maybe write an article or something about it. We'll see. So yeah, definitely let us know, and we'll be in touch. So send us a message on Facebook. Big prediction from me here, guys. Ooh. It's going to happen today. I have a feeling. There's something in the pit of my stomach that says it's going to happen. The Broncos are going to stop the tush push on at least one occasion.
Oh, okay.
Once today, the Broncos will stop. There's Jared. They're going to find a way to do it. Yep.
No, continue. Explain how.
I don't know.
You go.
Magic. I don't know what secret magic or what secret plan. I mean, we've seen other teams try to get inventive when it comes to trying to stop this, and I think it's going to happen today. I just don't know what it's going to look like. So I have faith that somehow the Broncos will be known and talked about this whole next week. If anything else, not just beating the Eagles, but stopping the tush push. And that's what's going to be a part of what leads us to victory. So crazy big prediction. I'm just saying.
That is a wild prediction. I'll give it to you though. If it happens, all to you, right? We'll get there.
And if it doesn't, it's like, well, yeah, duh. Of course it didn't happen. I'd be like, yeah, that's why it was a wild take. Like I thought there was maybe a 10% chance it would actually happen, but.
That's like when you take the bet of like plus 10,000 whatever, right. And you just throw a 5 key on it because if it pays out, cool. Yeah. And if it doesn't, of course it didn't pay out. It's plus 10,000.
Right. And I only lost $5, right? Not that I would put money on that kind of bet, but if those were kind of odds, I'll put $5 down on the worst, or the like when it comes to horse racing. Who's the least favorited horse to win? I'll put $5 on that because if it pays out, hell yeah.
Also, I'm drinking for free, so I would have gone to that anyway.
Exactly. But look, in general, guys, I think this could be a game where it's very defensive heavy, but whoever limits the mistakes the most is going to come out, on top there. And that's right. The concern, I want to say, partly for the Broncos, you look back to weeks 2 and 3, lots of flags, them just shooting themselves in their foot. Last week, that was just kind of a badly reffed game in general. I mean, there were calls that we should have had called against us and they didn't call. There were things they called on the Bengals that should have been called that they did call, right? Like, it was just kind of not a great game. So I'm going to assume that the Broncos have cleaned that up. But as long as they can cut down on those mistakes, find a way to win the turnover battle. I think this is a game that, again, comes down to it. But I'm gonna bank on a last-minute field goal for the Broncos. Football karma's got to come back around. We've lost too many games due to field goal issues at the end of the game, right? So I think it's our turn to win at the last second of the game with a Lutz 46-yard field goal. Broncos 24, Eagles 21. But Jared, do we get a score prediction from you, buddy?
Yeah, I guess I could probably do that. So the Denver Broncos are going to win this game. Let's start there. I actually think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring on both sides, only because I think Saquon Barkley does end up taking over part of this game. Unfortunately, I just think that based on what I've seen for the first 3 games, we just haven't gotten that down, and there's going to be probably something thrown over the top that we're just going to miss. I actually think this is going to be more like a 27-31 game. And I think the Broncos can put up 31 points against this defense. They're not the all-scary Eagles defense of the past. We are going to have to stop the pass rush. That is going to be a concern. I think Bo Nix might get knocked down a couple times or have to get flushed out a few times. But if he could take off with his feet and then they have to make a spy on him all of a sudden, I think that opens up people like 𝐓𝐴𝐸𝐴𝐸𝐸 to go downfield and get a couple big chunk plays. So I think that we could drive down if we score on over 50%. Like I said, 50% of our possessions, we go down there, we drive, we score at least 2 touchdowns. I think we end up scoring 31 points this game, and I think the final is 27-28-31.
I like it. 31-28 Broncos.
I think a really big point is Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator over there. Vic Fangio is if there's a guy that epitomizes bend but don't break, it's Vic Fangio. When you get in the red zone, to what you're saying, you got to convert those into touchdowns. You cannot trade field goals for touchdowns in this game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then sticking with the run game, something we haven't really talked about today. The Broncos have got to. They've seen in last week how that can benefit them, right? They've seen that J.K. Dobbins can do it. They've seen that R.J. Harvey can catch out of the backfield. So finding a way to keep this run game going. Yeah, Jared.
I was just gonna ask the collective group. So if I'm not mistaken, hear me out.
Yeah.
We still haven't had a 100-yard rusher, right? Is that still not happening?
Last week.
Oh, did he? Did he get it last week? Okay, that completely ruined my. Because I was gonna say, what total or JK got 101?
Total. J.K. Dobbins 101 rushing yards.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes away because I was gonna say Javonte's done it, but you know what? It's fine. Well, it's fine. Now that. But yeah, no, it's good. We finally broke that break that 100 yards, and maybe our rushing game's back on the plan.
You had that teed up. That's what that laugh was. You had this teed up. As soon as they bring up running game, just say it. Just
I was ready. I was ready.
So technically, I mean, almost the lowest amount of yards you could get to say you broke 100 yards. At 101, but I'm taking it. 101 yards. And so if they can build on that this week, oh man, you know what? I might just get you finding another Javonte Williams jersey or, one of those or something. I don't know. Definitely a Javon Babe fan, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it is getting close to game time here. So don't forget at halftime, we are live with the halftime hash as well. Breaking down the first half action, getting your quick instant reactions, talking about what the Broncos need to do in the second half to win the game. Also, we're live tomorrow night, Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time for another episode of the Bourbon Broncos No BS post-game podcast, live on all the different platforms. And then Tuesday, our flagship show of Bourbon Broncos No BS at 7 p.m. Mountain Time as well. So make sure you're checking out all those different shows, following across all the different places. And guys, we are 8 wins away from giving away 3 Bo Nix jerseys to some fans. So hopefully after today, we have 3 wins and we only need 7 more. So here's hoping, guys. Here's hoping. Let's see. Jared, don't you have to be on watch yet? Not yet. Oh, shit. That's get out there. Philip says Broncos win 24-17, and Andrew's guess is 30-23. So, guys, remember, 1 score prediction per person, and you guys can keep those rolling in until the start of game time. After kickoff, score predictions no longer count as well. But, like I said, I'm dying to give away a jersey today, so hopefully you get a score correct and the Broncos win. Let's do around the room closing thoughts, guys, as we get ready to sign off and go watch the Broncos. So quick closing things. Jared, what you got, man? Again, thank you for joining, and it is so good to see you. I'm ready to have you back, man.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get back. Hopefully, I'll be back here in a month or so. And it's nice that I actually get to watch a game at a normal time. Last time I stayed up to watch us lose, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed. It was not a great going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I get to actually get to bed at a decent time tonight. So hopefully, watch a win, go to bed happy, wake up happy. So I'm really excited to get back to you guys and be able. Thank you guys for having me on again. Super excited to be able to talk Broncos and get back and just in general watching Broncos football. It's just a great time of year. Like the leaves are falling somewhere, not here, but leaves are falling, right? We're getting ready for Halloween, and it's football's back. It's the greatest time of year. So I'm excited to be coming back to the States at that time of year and watch some Broncos football with you guys.
Love it, man. Love it. Adam, what you got for us, buddy?
I think this is going to be this game has the potential to kick off a really good month for the Broncos or a really bad month for the Broncos. Obviously, it does get a lot tougher after the game next week versus the Jets. So do you set the tone for the month right in getting off with a win in a tough place where traditionally they've not played well? I saw something on the ticker. The last win that the Broncos have and the quarterback matchup was John Elway versus Ron Jaworski. So it's been a minute. It has been a minute. So I say I am all on board for one Bo Chapman-Nix for changing that today and putting his name in the books.
I will say Sean Payton is the streak killer. We've broken how many streaks under Sean Payton over the last 2.5 years, especially the last year and a half. So why not add yet another streak to break to his record so far? So look, the Broncos bottom line need to go out there, play aggressive. I think they do need to come out and play aggressive, but they need to play smart. As long as they do those things, I think there's a really good chance for them to come in there and upset the Eagles. And hopefully we'll be talking about some pretty fun and awesome things tomorrow night on the post-game show. So we'll see. But
yeah.
Adam, Jared, thank you so much for tuning in and helping out host the show today. To everybody in the comments, you guys are fantastic. Remember, we'll be live at halftime as well, so I'll see you back there. And head on over to the website, guys. Make sure you sign up. Go over to the game day chat in the fan zone section and keep the conversation going there as well. So with that being said, guys, we're going to get out of here, go grab our own drinks and everything before the game. But, man, I said it all. So let's end it as we always do on a very strong – Go Broncos!
Go Broncos!
Go Broncos! Let's go!
Take care, guys. See you at halftime.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, 'cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the